Why, hello there, everybody. Hope you all are doing well today. It's 2:04 p.m. Pacific time, and I've got a lot to talk about. And I got my wild hair, my Bill Belichick sweater, as so many people like. Let's jump straight into the news that Bills owner, Bills owner Terry Pegula decided to call out the coaching staff of the Buffalo Bills after he fired Sean McDermott, saying that they wanted to draft Keon Coleman. A lot of people are saying, well, no, because the GM also wanted to draft Keon Coleman. So people wanted the GM to leave as well, Joe Brady, other people, but Sean McDermott gets the axe after after the beating they took against the Denver Broncos. Now, whose fault is it? Is it Josh Allen's? Well, partly the game, because he did have the 4 turnovers and the 5 that went, the 5th going to James Cook. It's also on the coaching staff. I never really believed that Sean McDermott was going to lead the Bills to a Super Bowl. I think he had a ceiling, and he reached that ceiling a few years ago. I think they need an offensive head coach. I think they need someone that's going to take them to the next level. But who knows who they're going to bring in? Coaching staffs are very slim, and all the good ones, I think, except for maybe if they go for Mike Tomlin, they might get someone. But we don't know how good Mike Tomlin is anymore because he's just been average the last few years. There's also the Philadelphia Eagles. Mike McDaniel expected to be the Chargers OC after he didn't want to be the Eagles OC. Same thing with Brian Daboll. Supposedly he's not going to take the job with the Philadelphia Eagles. And you have to ask yourself, is Nick Sirianni the problem? Because it seems like nobody wants to coach under him. Is it time for them to move on from Nick? I like Nick as a person. I think he brings a lot of energy. I just don't know if he has the scheme to win another Super Bowl. Like I said, you can walk into a Super Bowl and be like, okay, so we got a talented roster, but sometimes the pieces need to be brought together by a great coach. Is Nick Sirianni that great coach? I would say he's more of a Barry Switzer at this moment, unless he proves otherwise that he can lead this team to another championship, because this is a championship window for the Eagles. And they have the talent to win another Super Bowl. It's just scheme and things like that, and whether or not they have the coaching staff to do it. I think that this is one of the best teams, and they underperformed this year. Was it Kevin Patullo's fault? Sure, but it was also Jalen Hurts' fault. It was also A.J. Brown's fault for dropping balls. It was a bunch of people's fault for not performing the way that they should have. I would blame a lot of it on the coaching staff, because they're the ones that came up with the scheme, and you saw a scheme in 2024 that was really good. They won the Super Bowl. 2025, they came out and didn't know what they were doing. Kellen Moore was obviously a big piece of that puzzle, and he did pretty well in his first season as the Saints coach. Then you have all these offensive coordinator, offensive minds that don't want to go to Philadelphia, and it might be because of Nick Sirianni. I don't know. What do you guys think? Anything else? Latest NFL news. There's a lot going on. Falcons expected to hire former Browns offensive coordinator Tommy Reeves. Brandon Ayuk is not going to come back for the 49ers. But if I'm being honest, I really think that Philadelphia is in a weird place. Like, they have talent. They have a Super Bowl. So why aren't coaches jumping at the opportunity to coach this offense? Some people are saying it's Jalen Hurts and that he's not the quarterback. He's not the quarterback to lead them to a Super Bowl again. Some people are saying it's Nick Sirianni. I don't know what it is. I think people are scared off by Jalen Hurts, because Jalen Hurts is not going to throw the ball effectively unless he needs to. I think he's one of those quarterbacks that needs to lean on the run, kind of like Russell Wilson did back in the day. I think that when you look at the offense, it's built behind running the ball. Now, Jalen didn't run the ball very well coming out, like this season. He didn't even run the ball. Maybe 130 carries. But I think that a lot of the blame goes to Nick Sirianni. He's probably on a short leash this year. Underperformed really bad. I think that offensive minds are not wanting to work under him. And that's just sad to see, because we saw how well it worked with Kellen Moore. We saw how well it worked with other people, but it's just not an ideal situation for people. And maybe that's just people wanting to coach somewhere else, and maybe Daboll wants to coach the Bills and get his shot there. I don't know if he's going to get another coaching job, a head coaching job, but you never know. The pickings are slim right now, and you still have who are still looking for coaches. We know that Saleh went to the Titans. Harbaugh went to the Giants, and then you have, I'm going to look, coaching vacancies. I think Falcons got Stefanski. And what else? Steelers need a coach. The Dolphins need a coach. They were supposed to get a they were trying to get Harbaugh, I believe. Oh, Halfley. No, Halfley went to Miami. I forgot about him. Yeah, you it that really benefited your Seahawks. Your Seahawks did really well, and it's lucky for you that the Eagles didn't have a coaching staff that was well prepared this year. So Seattle, in my opinion, is the best team in football. They have a great defense. When Darnold is playing hot, he's good. Your running game is good. You dominated the 49ers. The Rams have a shaky secondary. If the defensive line doesn't get home, they're they're going to have trouble stopping JSN and the rest of the crew. Shaheed on the punt return, the kick return, really good weapon. It's basically your guys' the Super Bowl to lose because I don't see resign after today and go coach the Bills. That would be pretty. I actually wouldn't. I would actually like to see that. I think Stefanski is actually a pretty good coach. John Harbaugh, New York, Atlanta, Kevin Stefanski, Jeff Hafley. I like the signing of Jeff Hafley. I think that Miami needs toughness to get their next playoff win. They haven't won a playoff game in 26 years. I think they need to build a defense and have a power. I think a run game. They have a run game. The only thing they're missing is whether or not Quinn Ewers is that quarterback. I think that if he's the quarterback, cool. But you might want to draft someone that can come in, or maybe sign a quarterback like I know it's a weird thing to say, like Russell Wilson, to come in and mentor Ewers or something like that. Arizona is still looking for a coach. And honestly, I don't even think anybody wants to, I don't know if anybody wants to coach the Cardinals. They're such a weird franchise. They're like almost in football limbo. They have talent on the roster. They don't have a quarterback that you're looking for. You don't have like a great quarterback. Your defense is a little old. So it's kind of a weird situation, to be honest. But also, so the Dolphins are the Cardinals are looking to get Thomas Brown. They're going to interview Thomas Brown, Matt Burke, the DC for Texans, Vance Joseph, Broncos DC, Clint Kubiak, Mike LaFleur, Rams OC, Raheem Morris. I don't know if they want Raheem Morris, Jesse Minter, Matt Nagy, Robert Saleh already got signed. Arthur Smith, the Steelers OC. I mean, his offense was. I know, I'm sorry, but if we look at the free agent quarterbacks going into next season, I think the Dolphins could benefit from a veteran, or do you hold on to Tua? Oh, sorry. Quarterback 26, free agents. Or do you just keep Tua and hope that he could stay? I mean, Joe Flacco, Jimmy Garoppolo, Mitchell Trubisky, Kenny Pickett, Malik Willis, Trey Lance, Sam Darnold. Oh, wait, no, not Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's not a free agent. That's stupid. I mean, there's not really a market. Daniel Jones is a free agent, but I expect him to sign with Indianapolis, and I don't even think he's gonna be playing that long, playing until late next season. Then you have Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if he's gonna play. Russell Wilson, Marcus Mariota, Zach Wilson. Nobody wants him. Tyrod Taylor, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Jimmy Garoppolo. Not a very good quarterback market this year. So you have to wonder whether or not they're going to do anything with that. Dolphins, they definitely need a quarterback. I don't see anybody in the draft. I mean, Fernando Mendoza is going to be the the quarterback. We already know that the guy out of Oregon doesn't want to come in the draft because the Jets and Browns are lurking to ruin his career. Joe Brady is going. They're also looking at Baltimore. Joe Brady still out there. Anthony Campanelli, the Jaguars defensive coordinator. Brian Flores is a good option. But not even. Yeah, Baltimore doesn't even have a coach yet. Who are they going to hire? Have they even hired? They haven't even looked at anybody, have they? Yeah, well, definitely. But I think the Dolphins could benefit from a stopgap. So I don't know. Uh, I don't know what the Dolphins are going to do at quarterback. Tua obviously doesn't have the arm nor the mental aspect of the game anymore. Then you have Cleveland. We already know Mike McDaniel pulled out of going there. Raiders are still without a coach. Pittsburgh's still without a coach. So all these teams, they don't even know who's going to be hired. I don't know. Raheem Morris is a weird one. It's a weird pick. There's so many positions out there and not enough good places to go. As for like the AFC Championship, I know that Bo Nix just had surgery. I don't know how bad was his injury. Was it like bad? Because I'm just wondering if it was his ankle, a fracture in his ankle. He had surgery. He's gonna be out till next season. This sucks. That sucks. I really think that I wonder if he could have. Okay, so don't take this the wrong way, but I think like a Philip Rivers situation where he plays on a fractured ankle. I don't know how bad it was. It was probably pretty bad to not play. It was. I don't know if the Broncos have a chance. I know that the Patriots struggle against backup quarterbacks in playoff situations, but it's not looking good. New England's defense is pretty good. They're going up against a pretty good offensive line for the Broncos. I just don't know how good Jarrett Stidham is. What was Jarrett Stidham's last game? Jared. Let's check. I want to know what he did in his last game. Jarrett Stidham. His last start, because I know he played some for the Patriots and now the Broncos. 29 years old. Hasn't played a down this year. He's a career completion percentage of 59%, 1,400 yards, 8 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Is the Broncos defense able to pull out a Baltimore Ravens defense of 2000 and get themselves a win? Because that's the only way I could see it happening. I just don't see it. It sucks. This is a really, Seattle has the best shot to win the Super Bowl. New England, first year, last time he played was 2023. 496 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. A 40 for 66. That's a 60% completion percentage. Filling in for Russell Wilson, I believe. He played in the playoffs, 3 for 9 for 8 yards. Okay. Has been in the NFL for a while now. Good thing for Stidham is that Sean Payton is the coach. I agree. I think Sean Payton is good enough to coach like a backup quarterback to a win. as long as he, so I think Sean Payton's going to have to definitely going to have to run the ball. He's going to have to go against his instincts. Because his instincts are to throw those little swing passes and things like that. But he's going to have to go against that and actually run the football in order for them to have a chance. I think J.K. Dobbins is back. I believe. J.K. Dobbins. Okay, practice. So he might play. J.K. Dobbins might play. So there's that. J.K. Dobbins did have a few 100-yard games, so that's good. Well, and also Stidham's like a 4th-round pick. I thought he was like a 7th-round pick. Okay. Thank you for that. That is true. I don't care for the swing pass. I think it's more I don't care for the swing passes. In all honesty, but if he changes, if you're saying he changes it, I'll take your word for it. I hope that they run the ball. I just don't know. I don't know what to say about the Broncos game. As for the Seahawks game, this one I'm actually going to call. I'll probably call it when I get home at halftime. I won't be home until like 3:30 p.m. on Sunday, my time. So I'm going to have to come home and then call the game from there. Let's go into the Rams and Seahawks game. I think both teams won a game. Pete Carroll kept running the same Legion of Boom type defense, even though he did not have the talent to fit that style. From what I know is that Carroll had the Legion of Boom. Like, he knew when they were coming out of college, he could find all the gems and things like that because he was so close to the college game. I don't know if it was you or if it was Dax who said that, but both guys. But he would try to find the gems, and then once they all ran out, he just couldn't coach. So I don't know how true that is, but it's interesting that you bring up Pete Carroll and his inability to change. This is going to be an interesting Rams versus Seahawks. It's going to be at 3:30. Well, no, I'll only be 30 minutes. It'll only be 30 minutes. I get off at 4. So maybe I'll beat it by halftime. The Seahawks have a 53.8% chance of winning. The over-under is... I don't know how to read this. I think it's 46.5 points. The spread is 2.5 points for Seattle. Darnold's questionable. So, I don't know. Is he still injured? Is there any news on this? I don't want to hear Stephen A's view on it, to be honest. GM John Schneider put together the Legion. With his input. Okay, so it was more John Schneider. Are you of the belief that Carroll was not a great coach when it came down to it? Or were you okay with his coaching? I don't see anything on the Rams Seahawks game. I will ride the Denver Broncos and Jarrett Stidham to Davy Jones' locker. Yeah, so I mean the good thing for Seattle is they beat the brakes out the Niners with like 41-6 or something like that. Shaheed is a good one. Clint Kubiak, the offensive coordinator, is probably going to get a coaching job after the playoffs. So maybe that's who the Bills and Steelers and the Ravens are looking out for. Kenneth Walker had 3 touchdowns, which is good. Charbonnet went down. Schneider rebuild our roster. Okay, so that makes a lot more sense. I can't remember. Okay, so from like 2009 to 2022, I really didn't have a lot of input in the football world because of mental health stuff. It was a lot of survival mode. So these last 2 seasons are the first time I've been involved regularly in football again. People say Carroll was a master motivator. Those motivation speeches wear thin after the veterans have heard them so many times. Yeah, and I know that Marshawn Lynch didn't like it. He hated listening to them. So I get it. Like when you're an old man, when you're like my age or your age or whatever age, it kind of is like, okay, dude, you're kind of corny. Seahawks. Not really anything going on. I really think that, yeah, it's not really something that works for the long term. Mike McDonald, I think Mike McDonald's been a really good coach for Seattle. Puck beat mode. You're not into him. Not into Marshawn Lynch, I presume. But I like their chances. I like Seattle's chances. I just, I think Rams could win if Stafford has himself a very good game. If he has himself a very good game, I think the Rams can win. I just don't think. I think Seattle's defense is freaking amazing. I thought so. To be honest, early on in the season, I thought DeMarcus Lawrence was gonna be garbage. I thought he was old and tired, but he's been like one of the best defensive linemen on your team. I didn't like the signing of Cooper Kupp because he's injury prone, but he's been playing like pretty good for his age. So there's a lot of pieces that I just thought were like, that's a head scratching move, and I was like, I think Seattle's the retirement home when they sign all these players, but they've worked out. I think they've worked out pretty well for themselves. Coaches. I'm going to go to Philadelphia Eagles news. See if there's anything. I feel like the Eagles are at a crossroads right now, to be honest. I think a lot of people are. Eagles interviewed Matt Nagy for offensive. Yeah, my brother told me Matt Nagy was interviewing for the job. I don't like it. I don't know if I like this. Mike McDaniel and Brian Daboll turning their attention elsewhere. The Eagles are broadening their offensive coordinator search with another former head coach. Philadelphia interviewed former Chicago mentor and longtime Andy Reid disciple Matt Nagy for its OC job on Wednesday, according to the NFL media's Mike Garofalo. A North Jersey native who played quarterback at the University of Delaware in the Arena Football League, Nagy first caught the eye of Reid with the Eagles, breaking in as an intern in 2008-2009 before getting his first NFL coaching job as an Eagles coaching assistant in 2010. By the next year, Nagy was in quality control when Reid was fired by Philadelphia after the 2012 season and landed in Kansas City. He took Nagy with him as the Chiefs quarterback coach from 2013 to 2015. Nagy was promoted to offensive coordinator in 2016 by Reid, position that has been a fast track to a head coaching job. He was the OC for 2 years, and he had success with the Bears and had a 12-4 record. Last 3 seasons, 8-8, 8-8, 6-11 before being dismissed after the 2021 season. I need to know, after it's in Chicago, Returned to Kansas City in 22. Assistant. Okay, OC from 2023 to 2025. I don't know. Matt Nagy, he's kind of up and down for me with in the case that it's just like, is he going to be a decent coach and is he going to be a head coach? No, but he might do something as an offensive coordinator. Probably the best option the Eagles have because obviously McDaniel and Daboll don't want to coach under Nick Sirianni. I don't know what it is. I just think the Eagles are at a crossroads right now. Um, I think they're. This is a make or break year for Sirianni, in my opinion. Is he going to be a Jimmy Johnson or is he going to be a Barry Switzer? You have to really ask yourself that question when it comes to that. What did he just back himself into a Super Bowl, or is he actually a contender for one of the best coaches in the Eagles' history by winning another championship? I think he needs to win another championship in order to quell the doubt of other people, because there's a lot of people in the media that don't like Sirianni, don't think he's a great coach. I, for one, like Sirianni. I think he's a guy, he's down to earth and things like that, but you just have to wonder what his ceiling is as a coach. As for the Bills, I don't know who the Bills sign as a coach. I know they're going to want to do an offensive mind. At least I think so. I think I already talked about this. Joe Brady was a guy they were talking about. Would let his coordinators do their jobs, but he would take over if he did not like what he was. And that's the thing, though. We saw last year, like Kevin Patullo just couldn't do anything on offense. He couldn't even, like, it was like a high school offense. And then Sirianni would be like, oh, I need to be more involved. And the offense just never got better. So I'm wondering whether or not he even knows what he's doing on offense. Because the two times he went to the Super Bowl, he had a really good offensive coordinator. And then they split the next year and they just fell apart. They fell apart in 2023. And then they fell apart again in this year. So I don't know. How much involvement is Jeffrey Lurie in the coaching, the offensive coordinator search? What's the A.J. Brown situation? Is he going to be traded? Is he not? I really like A.J. Brown. I think he's I like him. I would like to have an A.J. Brown jersey if he stays. But he was distracted all year and things like that. Devontae Smith, I don't know if he's a number one. He's a great speed guy and a great number two, but I don't think he has the body to be a number one receiver. They're going to have, if they trade Brown, they're going to have to find a big-bodied receiver to fill that gap. Because I like speed on the offense, but I think there always needs to be a big pass catcher that you can have that can take the pressure off Philly, off the speed receivers. We saw with Deshaun Jackson, you had Jeremy Maclin and things like that, and that's how he was able to get his stuff, because he would get going. And then the running game is Saquon Barkley taking a step back. What do you do with Tank Bigsby, Reed Blankenship, and all these other players that don't know that they have to sign? I just think they're at a crossroads after this season, because you don't know. I expected them to be better than what they were, to be honest. I expected them to play at a higher level. Like, it was dreadful to watch, to be honest. I really just, it was dreadful. And like, very slow games, like offense would disappear for felt like weeks on end, for quarters on end, and just, I don't know. I don't know what to say about the Philadelphia Eagles right now. I just hope that they get it together and they're better this season. Also, Dallas Goedert might be leaving. I really like Dallas Goedert, so that's kind of a bummer. So, yeah. Not a lot to be happy about. I don't know. Matt Nagy. what are your guys' thoughts on Matt Nagy? You guys into him? Is he a good offensive coordinator? There's not really a lot of NFL news to talk about right now. Saints linked to trade for $10 million receiver after shocking owner comments. So it looks like Keon Coleman is probably going to get traded. I don't see him playing with the Bills next year because of Terry Pegula's comments. I don't see him playing there. Fernando Mendoza going to the draft, going to the Raiders probably, because unfortunately, I don't even know what you do with Fernando Mendoza. Do you sit him? Do you play him? I would sit him. I would sit Fernando. But honestly, I think that's all I've got to talk about today. I know these streams are like really short, but I really don't have a lot. I really am just getting my feet wet with this whole thing and trying to learn how to do live streams a little bit better. But thank you guys for helping me reach 200 subscribers. We're at 201, and I would like to get 300 subscribers whenever we can. I'll see you guys in the next video, probably a live stream on Sunday for the Rams and Seahawks. And then I'll have the Power Rankings / Dumpster Fire Awards right after that. And then another live stream on Wednesday. Oh, I have MTTF with my friend Miles from Crushing It Show on Fridays. So I'll see you guys in the next stream about 2 days from now. We'll see y'all later. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're trying to hit 300 subscribers by I don't know when, but one day.